as student housing. But when you understand that the only way we're all going to get out of this is if we add more bedrooms to the community, you see that the answer, the strategy has to be all of the above.
Yeah,
right? We need all of the above.
And then it has to be the rent is equal for everyone.
Right.
That means that I can pay as well as a student can pay, or he can pay, or she can pay. A woman that has 2 children can pay. You know, it's got to be affordable for everyone. So if it's like that, then it doesn't matter. You know, it's all of the above. But if it's just luxury, or it's just for the student can pay it, or it's just I can't make it, but she can't make it, but they can make it, and no, so that's unequal.
Right, we got to build for everyone. And like you said, if we raise wages, then all the rents become more affordable because we can all afford a little bit more. Then the landlord, you know, right now the landlords are like, well, why should I lower my rents? You know, the truth is if we all made more money, the landlords wouldn't have to lower their rents. We could make the rent and we'd still have a little left over.
But the thing about that one is, if we make the rent, and the landlord knows you can make the rent, he's going to raise it.
He's going to raise it. It's true. Well, so again, this is why, you know, this is like the market, right? Supply and demand. So as long as the landlord knows they can raise the rents and someone will pay it, they raise it. Right. And right now we have a vacancy rate. Like I said, we only have 30,000 bedrooms, got all these people who work here. They know they can raise the rent, and if you can't pay it, somebody else who's working here will come in and pay it. But if we build enough housing that suddenly some of these apartments sit empty, right? If you're a landlord, and for the first time, these landlords, they have never had a year like this, not for like the last 20 years. Have they had a year where they wake up and they go, huh, my apartment's not renting.
Right.
Maybe I'm going to have to lower the rent. Or maybe I'm going to have to fix up the place, you know, to make it more attractive, or to make it safer, or to make it cleaner. Right now, they never have to say that. So when we build more units, suddenly the landlords will say
that.
They'll say, geez, I didn't rent that unit this year. I'm missing out on a lot of money.
Exactly.
I was hoping I could get $1,000 a month. For 12 months, it's just sitting there empty. I guess I'll lower it to $900 and see what happens. Or they have a $600 apartment, maybe they lower it to $500 and see what happens. But that won't happen unless we get more housing. And it won't happen unless the students especially get more housing. Once the students are all soaked up, the landlords won't have them as a target. You know, they won't be able to. They won't be able to cater to them as much. So, but it's not easy. You know, if it were easy, we would have just done it already.
It's been done.
But things are going to get better. I promise you. Circle 2017 on your calendar. A lot of these buildings are going to open. You know, things that you see under construction right now in College Town are going to open. And when they open, people are going to fill them. And when they fill them, it's going to change the sort of the lay of the land for landlords.
Yeah, it needs to change. It needs to change. The dynamics need to change because right now everybody is looking at you know, status quo. Once the school is out, I'm chilling. Soon as it come back in, I'm gonna raise the rent. You know, and they soak up the little bit of money they got until September come in. As soon as September come in, everything is $1,000 or more. You know, and the students gonna pay it. Their family's paying it. They're not paying it.
Families pay it. Financial aid pays it. I mean, you know, and the students, they also, you know, I was a student and I didn't have a lot of money, but I just lived with 12 people. You know, so you get like 11 people. Maybe you barely know, but together you come up with the rent. You know, I'm getting old now, so I don't want to live with 11 people anymore.
I hear you, man.
So it makes it hard to compete with them.
And this is what we see as you go around Ithaca. You know, you see construction, you see things torn down, and then you look at the other places that should be torn down, and it's not torn down. You know,
rundown houses.
Exactly, and that should be out of here. But they're ripping up something that don't need to be ripped down, and instead of all of this need to be ripped down, tore down, but they ain't doing nothing to fix that up. You know, so they like, you know, going backwards with this.
Well, we're making some progress on, you know, it's tough too because when you have low-income folks who own their own housing, you don't want to put an undue burden on them to tear it down and replace it. But some of our, you know, I'll just say it, we have slumlords in the city. People who own 20 properties and don't maintain any of them. Until they're so dangerous they're falling down, then they just board them up and they leave them there. They attract raccoons, they attract vermin, they're like fire hazards. And for a long time, nobody's doing anything. So I don't know if you followed the news. We hit 3 of these landlords right in a row with big $10,000 fines. And we said that we were going to hit them again unless they either fixed up the place or sold it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So 2 of them fixed it up. We're waiting to see what the third one's going to do.
Oh, well, yeah, but hey, listen, that needs to go around the board.
Yeah.
Because you got a lot of these places. If you just drive around and look at these places run down,
we know
rodents in the place.
Yeah. We know where all of them are.
Yeah, well, believe me, they enjoying their luxury now, but it need to be, they need to answer up to this.
Sure.
Because you got a lot of those guys that are slumlords. You got a room that's, what you could say, 7 by 12, 7 by 9. Yeah. All right, and they're giving outrageous prices. Like this thing is like a closet, and you want $400.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, wait a minute. Yeah. This person is in a bind in the first place. All right, now you want me to pay $400 for something that I can put my hat in and my shoes in, and you want me to sleep in here?
Yeah.
But you got them renting out spaces that shouldn't be rented out.
Right.
Like places ain't got no window. It just got a door. Yeah. I mean, and if you ain't got no window and all of a sudden there's a fire in the house, how you get out?
Right.
So, you do have a lot of these slumlords that just sitting back and ain't doing nothing, like you say.
Yep.
And they need to be held accountable for a lot of this stuff, because a lot of people are getting things stolen out of their room while they're at work, or looking for work. Yeah. And the landlord will tell you, well, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right. Right.
All right, so now, wait a minute.
Yeah.
How you going to tell me that when you got this door sitting up here that's made of cardboard, but you want me to tell me to leave my stuff in here and it's supposed to be safe?
Right.
So you sit there and you look at it and it's like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But this guy don't care nothing about your stuff, because at the first of the month,
right, he could. Yep.
He got his hand out.
You got to pay him, or you got to go.
Yeah. So I mean, and in a lot of ways, that's wrong and it's bad. But then again, you got these guys that don't care. Like you say, okay, you got a couple that's fixing it up.
Yep.
Okay, so now they're gonna fix it up. But what happens when they fix it up and something go bad?
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden they sit back on their easy horse and go, yeah, well, I fixed it.
Right. Yeah.
So now all of a sudden, you got the people in the same bind, in the same situation.
Well, and again, it goes to, why are the landlords in this business?
To make money.
To make money. So, and what's going to get them to change? Well, if they stop making money.
Exactly.
This is what's going to motivate them.
Or a penalty come at them.
But you see, the whole thing about that is, as far as them stop making money,
right.
All right, the city has to hit them with a fine.
Yeah, so that's what I said. Yeah, we've been fining them.
No, not just once, every time.
Yeah.
Because, well, I fixed it. But now all of a sudden the heat went out.
Right.
I'll give you, for instance, I stayed in one of these places. My ceiling had a leak in it. Anywhere I moved my bed, it was going to get wet. You know what he told me?
What's that?
Put a bucket on it.
Really?
I said, would you do what?
The landlord told you.
That's what the landlord told me.
Did you call the city?
Oh, I told the landlord, no, I'm coming to stay at your house.
Yeah.
All right, no, you can't come. You know what? Until you fix this, I'm not giving you no money.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be knocking at your door.
Yeah. That's the right thing to do. Did you fix it?
Oh, yeah, he fixed it.
Good on you.
He fixed it. Yeah. But I mean, everybody
and for stuff
don't
like
have
that. And for stuff like that, the viewers should know. You call the city building department. Those are the things that when we hear about, because so we drive around and we do an inspection every 2 years. But a lot of that stuff we won't find out again for 2 years. Right? We'll do an inspection. They say it's broken. Like you said, they fix it up. Breaks 2 months later. We don't hear about it for another 22 months. Because we don't see what's happening inside the apartments. You call us, we'll get right over there. We'll get right over there. The guys and gals in the building division are very good at their jobs, but they can only do what they hear about.
Right.
And exactly what you described happens all the time. Something similar happened to me. It happens a lot in this city.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my third and final question to you.
Yeah.
What's happening with these police?
Yeah.
In this in Ithaca and most likely all around the world? They're acting like gangs, like with a gun. They're acting like a gang. They're not really protecting people, because some of the things that they're doing, especially to young girls, teenagers around the school areas, I watch myself. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 officers tied this girl up, put a bag on her face, and picked her up, and put her in a car. Now, I wasn't there.
Where was that?
I wasn't there, But if I had been there, it wouldn't have been a good scene.
That was in the city?
No, it wasn't here.
Okay.
Thank God it wasn't here.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have happened.
No. And you know, policing is a problem. It's not a problem. How do I say this? We give these people, police officers, a lot of power and responsibility. Like you said, they've got guns, they've got uniforms, they've got cars, they've got authority, you know? And we have to be able to trust them with that authority. Like, we have to trust that they won't use it to hurt us. And for a lot of people, especially people in the black community, it's hard to have that trust because for 150 years, we have seen and heard stories of police officers behaving terribly, right?
Exactly.
And not all police officers, but enough that make you distrust all of them.
That's right.
And like you hit it on the head, it's a problem around all over the country. You know, and here we've had incidents in the last 10 years that, you know, frayed that trust. And 2 years ago, when those kids got pulled over by one of our sergeants, because, you know, they you know, we thought they were running from the police. They thought they were, you know, it was all a big misunderstanding, it turned out. But it made everybody on edge. So we put together a 9-point plan for excellence in policing, we call it. The first point is body cameras, right? If they're wearing cameras, then they're accountable for everything they do, because we can go back and watch. But it also makes everybody else accountable. We've seen, you know, situations where somebody was being aggressive with a police officer and they stop because they see the camera. But beyond stuff like that, we actually need officers who know and like and love Ithaca and aren't just here for a paycheck and aren't just here because they want to knock people's heads together. So we've really focused on recruiting officers who demonstrated that they like this community, that they want to be here, and where possible that they want to live here. We started something called the Officer Next Door program. We let officers move into West Village, encourage them to move into West Village and live there. Got 2 officers right now who are taking advantage of that program. We're asking them to do, you know, and it seems soft and fuzzy, like community policing stuff. When we do barbecues, you know, the chief paid for a barbecue over at Southside, first time ever. Doing open houses and just asking people to come into the police department so that they can meet people. Asking our officers to get out of the car and walk around a lot. Like, that's the kind of stuff that, again, it seems squishy and touchy-feely, but it actually leads to people who like and love and are connected to their community, which leads to better policing. Because we do need the police, right? You need somebody. Right. It's tempting to be like, we can't trust them. But when something goes wrong, somebody steals something from your apartment, when you're having the worst day of your life, you got to call somebody.
Our time is up.
Oh.
See, that's why you need to. That's why you need to come back.
Yeah.
That's why you need to come back, because we need to hold you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
To what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
And we need to finish that up.
Yeah.
Okay. So our time is up tonight, but we'll get back with you next week, and we want to thank you. See you next week. Good night.
Creating a better future for them youth here. But our life will be an illusion with the failure of agriculture. But because of 500 years of slavery, without pay and agronomy, creating our mind a reverse psychology to think that agriculture is so low and dirty.
The man, the seeds, and the land. Till the soil. The man, the seeds, and the land. The future is agriculture. The hemp revolution is upon man. One solution, cultivation. Put forward the seeds in the soil. Such a joy, Mother Earth have to smile. It bring the tile, minerals and I. The land, the seed and the man. All of we could have been one. Agriculture is the solution. The land, the seeds and the man. Till the soil.
It's for every mind in town and country to plant a tree and save the economy, protect the environment, better future for a picnic, uplift for meditation.